What about now? Can you hear us? Can you hear us now at all?
I'm voting Margarita Monday at this point.
Do you hear me? I think it just automatically transitioned into the. Okay, so man, you hear now. Good, good. All right, so hang tight with me because it's not that it's been too long. In order to fix the issue that we've had with lag and all that, I've actually had to install Windows on my computer, and it's given me like a million different audios in. So I'm going to change some settings because I'm looking at about a million different faders here at this point.
You can't even tell my hair is blue.
This has just been a real headache. Let's just put it that way. I think I'll just leave it for now, and then we're going to proceed with what we had planned as a show. So let's go ahead and kick this, shall we, Shannon?
Yeah,
Why is your microphone so low?
because it keeps falling down.
All right.
I'm just gonna leave it. Otherwise, I'm messing with it the whole time.
Do you have your material ready yet,
No,
there,
you
Shannon?
stole my thingy.
Now the video's that's hilarious. Anyways, thanks for
We're an hour late, but we're here.
yeah, thanks for putting up with us kind of running through some trial and error stuff here.
Rybeats, shitty. Ah!
So Orange Star says he can't hear the porn music.
Hey, Dave.
Can you hear it now, Orange Star? Can you hear the porn music? This is gonna get so demonetized. It's not even funny. Which rightfully so. Who wants to watch this anyways? Gee whiz. Oh man, I need a drink after
You
all
guys
that.
should have heard him while it was at stall there for a second.
But I guess we might as well.
Sounded like Yosemite Sam with bleeps.
So y'all, until we get all this sorted out, let's. We do have a format down that we're doing. So let's just go ahead and kick it on over to the shop news for now, and we'll kind of tell you what is going on in the shop. So it's 5:55. We're gonna keep this down to the 5 minutes, and we'll kind of tell you what's been going on around our shop, and then we'll tell you guys how you can, rather than us constantly talking about ourselves, how we can feature y'all on our live shows. But for now, we're going to go ahead and just tell you get y'all up to speed with what's been going on around here, and we'll direct you to where you need to go in order so that way we can feature your stuff. So let's kick some of the shop news for the day. You like that? Like that? We took those pictures literally this afternoon. And why does it keep going? I have no idea why. So, obviously, you've been working on kind of revamping our live thing. We kind of need a little bit of a break from it because with the way work has been, it had been really busy during the peak season. Things are kind of at a good pace towards where I've got a little bit of free time in order to work on some of the stuff. And obviously it needs some more work, and I I worked on it all weekend. I worked on it all day today. I've been working on it for quite some time, among other things. Aside from that, you guys know that we did get a Recoma machine in the shop, and it is a sponsorship. They kicked a machine over to us, and so they're like, hey, let's see how things work out. Here's the machine. We'll give you a promo code. So, and just to kind of get y'all up to speed, and I'll do a video on this, kind of diving into it a little deeper. Man, I feel like there are companies out there that kind of get a bad rap based off of whatever the reason is. But I mean, for us, our machine's been working great. We've been just running the thing 24/7, and so this is like one of the first sponsorships that we got where it's like, okay, let's see how it does. But also on the flip side of that, because we are such a heavy screen printing channel, it really just hasn't been, it just really, the numbers aren't there yet. I do need to put some more content out, and we'll continue to do Rybeats, Recoma. However, you know, they've treated us well. The machine's treating us well, so I've got nothing but, yeah, they're cool. And I don't know, even like Anatol, say for example, when we were looking into buying a press, they had some humps in the road, but they've been nothing but great. So that's something else that's been going on in the shop. And I'd say last but not least, aside from just the day in and day out stuff, is Michelle wants to work full time. It's not exactly the time for us to bring her on full time right this moment, but just as soon as spring comes around and we're just neck deep in orders, that will be a great time. Shannon, is there anything you can think of?
Well, we got some questions about what's the next step for us.
A bigger shop.
That's what he's asking, but
yeah, so it would be a bigger shop. Why don't you, I've been doing a lot of talking.
well,
Why don't
no, I just think that we have different ideas about what the next step is.
I think we have similar ideas.
Well,
There you are. Breathe into it. Breathe into it. Yeah, you can hear it now.
yeah, I can.
Ladies and gentlemen, the other thing that's been going on is trying to, I got a new camera, got a few things that obviously one of the things that had kind of been discouraging about getting back online and doing live is it was like constantly lagging, and we were just overwhelmed with work, and we would come on and it just kind of felt like the energy wasn't there that for us to give to you.
We were tired.
I think some of the numbers as well, just with how many people were tuning in, maybe I think it kind of got a little stale there for a little bit. So we've set out a format to hopefully spice things up a little bit. I feel like it's with our live experience, we're at the point in the marriage where we got to start going to shops and spicing things up. I'm not talking about us, I'm talking about the live thing. Why are you looking at me like that? Anyhow, so we just wanted to continue to put out content that you guys enjoyed, and we want it to be enjoyable for ourselves too, because it definitely takes a lot of work behind the scenes that you guys don't necessarily see to really kind of keep things interesting. Because when your work is you're screen printing, you're doing embroidery, heat pressing, all that stuff, and then you're making content about it too, and you're constantly cranking out these videos. It can be difficult keeping it fresh and keeping it interesting before you kind of just really. I personally needed a little bit of a break, and I think I had that break. And I'm ready to got a few new little toys. It's nothing to like it's just a few things to make things a little interesting. I don't really know how to put it. It's not like Lee Stewart of I just bought and I mean the guy cranks out some awesome stuff. However, it's just not necessarily what I want to do. My focus is in teaching, and there's a lot of homework that goes into that stuff, and it's definitely, man, it's a lot. That's a whole nother trade right there, and I mean it takes a lifetime to learn, or at least a lot of dedication. And I mean, we've got 3 kids, business to run, and we're doing the YouTube thing. So I guess to sum it all up, lots of cool stuff coming, lots more videos. Need a little bit of a break, but here we are. We're going to be doing this again every Monday.
We're back.
And now it's
going to be a different format this time.
Yeah.
And I get to go back to do my dad jokes.
Dude, my ear balls. Yes, and Shannon is getting back to her dad joke format kind of thing. I think I might have discouraged her a little bit.
You said they were stupid.
They are stupid, but that doesn't mean that.
I believe you actually
they don't
said
enjoy
you
it.
Sound stupid.
I didn't say you sound stupid.
It was something like that. I took it like that.
Anyhow, but and one of the other things is butting heads with lovely Miss Shannon when it comes to some of these things too, and we just didn't want that to be public. So here we go. This is a new little segment here that I think the title of it here will say it all. And let's have some fun, and then we'll talk about like some serious stuff, shall we?
Is this where you blindfold me? Am I getting blindfolded?
You are. So this is what we're going to do right now. We're going to have a little bit of fun with this, and we're going to play a little bit of a guessing game. We're going to blindfold Shannon, and I'm going to bring something out from the shop, and she has to guess what it is. Let's
I really feel like we needed a blindfold prepared.
Oh, there's plenty of blindfolds around the shop.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so that's what's happening now. I get to be blindfolded, and when I first saw this idea, I was very concerned because I was like, please don't make me walk around.
You don't have to walk around. All right. Can you still breathe?
Yes.
All right, Daniel. So
Ow! You're pulling my hair!
I'm going to bring a little something in that is from out in the shop, and you have to guess what it is.
Okay.
And if you don't, I'm going to kick you in the butt.
Or you could do that word that I don't remember.
What's the word?
I don't remember. Guys, help me. I can't see, and you're not here, so there's not much help to be found, but
okay.
Just know I wanted you to help.
Here you go. Put this glove on. Here, you going to use your right hand?
I'm right-handed.
All right, well, put it on there, right hand, Captain.
I have 2 fingers in the pinky. Oh, God.
All right, ladies and gents, this is what we got here. And Shannon's going to guess what this is.
It sounds like a bucket.
Let go of the microphone.
That's what you were handing me.
Now feel around. No, over here. Guess what the contents of this is? There
it's ink.
we go.
It's ink, obviously.
Wrong.
No?
Absolutely wrong.
Is it emulsion?
Oh, yes, we got ourselves a winner.
Can I take this off now?
Yes, you can take it off. Congratulations, Shannon. You won a luxurious stay at the finest inn down the street. You get 2 hours time at this place.
Oh, I'm a lucky girl. Okay, so that was the ADHD moment.
Yeah. You want to stick around for those because
let's blindfold Shannon and see what she sticks her hand in.
What's more fun than that? Are you kidding me? Dude, I could do that all day long. I could make a whole show out of just that. All right, so we're going to talk about a little industry news. Shannon, did you do your homework today?
Yeah, we've had this conversation 5 times today.
Yeah, I know. I've also been dealing with this stuff here too. So let's go ahead and...
I looked into it. There is no industry news updates since October or something.
All right, so here we go. Here's Shannon's little segment that we like to call... Here you go, shop news. Wait, that's definitely the wrong one. But anyways, you get the idea. Go, Shannon. What are we talking about as far as some news? Give us 10 minutes of some good saucy stuff.
In today's report, there are no news.
Ooh. You suck! What do you mean there's no news?
There is nothing. I looked at all the blogs. I looked at the Bella Canvas blog. I looked at Ryanette. I looked at Impressions. Everything hasn't been updated since like maybe October.
Okay.
I tried.
All right. So this is what we're gonna do. Just give me 1 second so I can get the sound effect going here because I totally completely forgot about this sound effect here. All right, Shannon, are you ready? We're going to talk about the t-shirt shortage. That's what you're going to do, is talk about the t-shirt shortage. You ready?
Then I'm just becoming like an amateur journalist because...
Oh, come on.
I have no one to quote, no one to cite, but everybody has noticed the t-shirt shortage.
Come on, Shannon. Come on, you can do it.
In today's news, we can't find shirts. Especially in the 2Xs.
In today's news, there is... Oh, man. Wait. I don't think... Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear the music? I probably don't have that set up.
Don't mess with it again. Just don't touch it. Don't touch it.
No, but I want you to hear it. I want you to hear it.
I heard it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Here it goes.
I heard it.
Here it goes. One more time, people. One more time. Shannon's going to hear it now.
I heard it the first time.
You heard the industry
Stop
news?
messing with it.
No. Oh, my Lord. Anyways, so there you have it, folks. Shannon has had plenty of time to research whatever news is out there,
but that's the same like. Oh, now I hear it.
Shannon, go ahead with the news there.
Now I hear it.
Well, now it's showing up. Isn't that convenient?
Well, no, but there is a shortage of t-shirts. Everybody has noticed that. Next Level has been the only person I've been able to find in black. Do you have any idea how hard it was to find a 5XL black hoodie?
Hard.
It took 3 hours.
I bet you not near as hard as it is to do the back
Give
end
me
of
that back.
OVS crap over here. is let us know in the chat if Shannon's too loud or if we're too loud vocally. I think we're kind of maxing out over here. But I'm gonna make her do some more homework. There's definitely a lot more going on than.
Unless people want to hear about who died and like who got hired onto a new management system team.
Shannon, but the point is that there's other things going on in this world aside from a t-shirt shortage.
Yes, I know, but they all bored me to tears, so I didn't bother reading them.
Like, say, for instance, what is going on with style, fashion these days. A lot of the people that are coming in.
Yes, and everything.
You see a lot of that.
Yes, I do. But
how do you not observe that and, like, have a...
I don't have news for it because I'm not a journalist and I can't cite, like, references except for my own experience. Okay. Big thing now. Graphic prints oversized on streetwear.
That's not news.
That's all I've got, like, for trending. And can you please give me that back?
What about the whole resurgence of like rock and roll shirts and stuff coming? How much of that have we done where it's like
2?
Or the 90s like hip hop stuff? It's like the 90s deal is back.
That's what it is.
We just went the Panda show and the kids were wearing flannel. Like
that's grunge.
They all looked like they were in in Pearl Jam or something like that. Anyways, Shannon's got more homework to do, and I do apparently on the back end of OBS. So that's a wrap on the stream news. All right, so we're gonna get into the main the meat of what the topic is. The title of this particular live for today, and we've got more insight on this. Sorry that there wasn't a whole lot of insight there, because you see what this is what I'm dealing with over here. All right, let's kick the let's kick the weekly topic there. Shannon, you ready to kick the weekly topic?
I'm not saying a word. Just cut back.
All right, so Shannon, I'm gonna let Shannon kick this off as I give her cut back. So go ahead and start, and I will I'll bring that right over because I needed to wet my whistle after all that jazz. I didn't even think we were going to continue today, and then I was going to go home and cry is the gist of it. So take it away, Shannon. Oh my lord! You suck!
Give me my cup back.
Here's your stupid cup.
Alright, so the topic today is actually going to be like when to know if you just take a person's art or if you actually start making suggestions. Because we've had a lot of issues lately with stuff that we have to go. Matt will come to me and goes, how did it go? I was like, you know how when the kids hand you a picture and you go, looks great, thank you so much. That's how it went. But then there's other times when I'm really connecting with a client, I go, ooh, 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 you know what, this will make even better. That kind of thing. So basically what it has to do is this is really...
Hold on. Sorry.
Matt, you can take it away from there.
No, go ahead.
No, I am...
Please carry on. Sorry, I'm over here working on things on the back end, and I can't help that it just went off. You know what I
Anyways,
mean?
it's about reading and recognizing the client because like sometimes when they bring you their art, they're so proud of it and they're like, "Here, look, it's amazing, right?" And I'm just like, "Looks great."
How's it go?
But that's really one of the things, like, it's to know when you have established, like, some kind of mental camaraderie, there we go.
Como?
Camaraderie.
How's it go? Who's Roddery?
But no.
Who's Rodney?
It's reading and recognizing the client, like, and when you know that you can build off of it and when you just know it's commercial. Just print what they want. Because there's no way of improving it. Matt, can you give some examples that won't name like the clients that I'm thinking of right now?
Huh? Yes. Give me 1 second. I was trying to. Oh. Sorry, ladies and gents, but to elaborate, I'm gonna give my side of. Sorry, obviously we got some things we got to iron out over here, and in my mind, like when it's a client comes in, they have a design in mind, and I'm not gonna say his or her name, but we both looked at it and we're like, okay, that's interesting. There's a fine line between kind of crushing someone's creativity, because I personally didn't think that the art was like too bad, and there's times when it's like, okay, yeah, let me give them a little bit of guidance. Like, say for example, someone comes in with a logo and they're like, hey, here's my logo, and if you want to play around with it or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I mean, this doesn't really represent what your business is about. It's not a good graphic symbolism of your art. And then at that point, we can say, hey, you know what? We could do this, and that with it. We'll have to charge you some art fees for it, but it will be a better design, and it's not only something that we can just redesign, but make branding out of, from their shirts to something they can put on business cards, letterheads, their website, kind of making things cohesive. I'm not necessarily a fan of if someone comes in and they have an idea, and even though it's, to me, I'm like, I don't get where they're coming from, but like helping bring that to life is cool, and we can kind of guide them graphically what works. Like, say for example, one of the worst things you can do graphically is just put a bunch of crap on something, and there's nothing really to focus on. So the person that came in that had that was a piece of art all on its own, and I don't want to go into too much detail without giving away the art. And I was like, it's simple. You look at it and there's not too much going on. The message gets across. But also there's times where, and I'll actually, I don't want to say this person's name.
Kelly from Sparkly Tees and I were.
Oh, the business card for
that's the one. Yeah, she and I were having a competition about who had the uglier shirt to print.
It comes down to budget too. I mean, when someone comes in and they're exploring, actually taking an idea and putting it on a shirt, they might not necessarily have the budget to hire us to redesign it to make it something nicer. and
Michelle
therefore
started laughing when she
there
saw the emails because I said, "Really, the square?"
we bring the microphone over by. There you go. Could you hear yourself? Yeah, that's why you got headphones now. Anyway, so what I was getting at is the budget's not always there, and you can't just necessarily be like, oh yeah, this sucks. When it's like, well, this is my art, and I don't really have money to put into you guys designing it. There might be some times where it's something really simple, and it's just like, let us redraw this for you, clean it up, make it look nicer. Even if it takes 10 or 15 minutes, we're just like, we'll chuck that up to it being part of the job. Because generally, a job takes about 10 or 15 minutes between doing some sort of art cleanup or whatever the case may be. And even, I'd say there's been logo designs where people have actually paid us and are like, hey, here's my idea. And I'm like, man, that's super busy. But if that's what you want, I mean, sometimes you got to consider and you got to relay to your client that, you know, the more colors you put in it down the line, it's going to cost you more to print this logo, to put it on, you know, if you have a vehicle you want to put it on, and it's got 10 colors on in it. And, I mean, you can't just do something. You can reduce it down to simple colors, but there's a lot that's going to be lost in translation.
I feel like I have that conversation explanation memorized at this point. Like, just my hands just automatically just.
Yeah, and so there is a fine line between someone bringing in artwork and it could be like, say for instance, we did the sketchies thing and it was a sketch. The whole thing was a sketch, and I was like, oh, okay. There's nothing we really need to do to it because it's a hand-drawn art. It needs to be printed like hand-drawn art. And then after we printed it, our client came back and was like, did you guys put an underbase on that? It's like, yeah, it was a sketch, and we printed a sketch. So if they wanted us to go back and vectorize it, I personally felt like, I mean, the cool factor was it was kind of like it was done with markers on paper, and how that translates into screen printing. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not paper media where you have a digital printer or an offset printer. They even use offset printers these days, but you know, if they had come to us and been like, hey, just vectorize this and you know, polish it up, make it here's the rough draft, and we'd be like, oh yeah, we can clean this up and make it look dope.
The shirt you're wearing is an example of that.
Yeah, I mean, like, say for instance, Panda came in, one of our former employees, still a good friend, and he's like, hey, we got a sketch, and I'm like, all right, man, let me just digitize that for you and clean it up, make it, you know, bring this thing to life, and you'll have a piece of vector art. Like, they could take the art that we recreated and put it on a wide scale of things. When it comes to a sketch, I mean, you can print a sketch. We've printed plenty of sketches, but I guess it comes down to the budget. Like, I think I did that for him. I don't think we even charged him. It was just back in the day when we were still doing things manually, and it was. And funny story is, I actually bought. We printed these shirts for him, and he still hadn't sold them. Bought it at his show just to like show support, and
it's like it was coming home because we printed it.
Right, and I even see like how much we've grown as a company from the time we printed these on a manual press, because on a manual press you're only as consistent as you are you know, how much energy you have and how focused you are, you know, versus like when we put stuff on the automatic, there's still a lot of hands-on stuff where it is the operator. Like, say for instance, if Mario's out there printing, he puts a shirt on and he's having to stop it for whatever reason, and he's not flashing it, then immediately hitting it with that flattening screen, then, you know, it's not going to come out as smooth. And that's something we try to convey. But what I'm getting at is, I see growth here. There's clients that do come in, and whether or not they have the budget, eventually there's some clients where we've got to the point towards where we've kind of got comfortable with one another, because there is somewhat of a comfortability with being able to say, hey, here's what we can do to improve it. Like, say for example, Myron, right? He comes in, he's got all these ideas, and it's like we put the ideas together for him, and it's like, that after he sees it, it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it didn't come out like I thought it would. And it's like, well, here's what we can do to save you some time, save you some expenses, and make this a better piece of artwork. No?
No, I don't know if Myron was a good example to use
okay,
me
probably
just to use me as, like, you know, an agreeer, because I can't understand a damn word he says.
Well, okay, well, yeah, I mean, I've been dealing with them.
Yeah.
And not necessarily like, I'm having
I'm kind of just like,
deal with them. It's
no, you know, he's been your contact. He's been the one that you've been working with and stuff like that. I haven't been working with him because I can't understand him, and I can't agree with or disagree with it, because I'm just like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's that southern drawl is what it is. So, anyhow, this could be a conversation that could go on and on. I'd say as a screen printer and as a designer, that when someone comes to you and you see their design, there's a lot of times they want your interpretation. They might not have the budget to pay you to get it to a point towards where it could be a better piece of art. And then also a lot of it is subjective too. I mean, who's to say that your vision's any better? Although, like, say for example, my background is in art. I went to art school, and so there's some fundamentals there where when I am designing something, to me the first thing I think of when I'm putting something together, and if someone has just like a long laundry list of something of what they want to put in there, you know, the more you add to it, it's going to take away from it, because there's too many focal points, and that's one of those cases where less is more. Generally, you want a handful of focal points. You're going to have one focal point and then some smaller focal points and just some stuff that's supposed to sit in the background. But if there's a crap ton of things in there, it can get diluted and the message can be lost, especially when it comes to logo design as well. The way I look at things are the simpler the better, because you look at the biggest corporations out there, you know, their logos aren't just loaded with a bunch of stuff. It's generally just real simple graphic symbolism.
But also though, there's a, like, you know, I'm not an art student.
But you can still.
I can.
You are an art student.
Well, I'm self-taught.
I mean, you didn't go to art school, but you're still a student of the arts to an extent.
To an extent, yes. But the thing is, like, from my perspective, what is also important to take away from it is reading and recognizing if they're super excited about their ugly ass art and design, let them be. And just be like, all right, cool. But I made this connection with the anime guy because I immediately recognized who the art was about, and I was just like, oh, okay, you've got good taste. And he was like, I knew it, you're a fellow weeb. I don't know what weeb means. But then I was like, ooh, you know what would be really, really cool? If we had a neck tag with, like, you know, like one of the symbols in it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I love that idea. And then suddenly, boom. 2 more screens and another screen print design. So it's just reading and recognizing a lot of it as well, knowing when you can start pushing your... I don't know what you're doing. He keeps gesturing.
That's me telling you to carry on because I'm trying to add to the chat section, which I've hadn't had time to do.
Let me do an old school anime example. One of the things was like a take on Sailor Moon. And I said maybe for the back, like under the collar, you could have like just crescent moon, and maybe for Death Note you could have an apple, or Soul Eater, you could have a skull in the back. And he loved it. And I knew I could push it with him, and I knew I could throw ideas around because he was obviously excited. We were already geeking out together. This other person comes in, and I just go,
How's it going?
That is absolutely great. Because she was so proud of it, and I'm just like looking, going, all right, we'll print it. Give me money. It's a lot of it is just knowing when you can actually jump in to being like, hey, I have something to improve. That's basically as much as I can keep going like this as you're doing.
You know what, Shannon? You are a real team player. I think that you're doing fantastic over there. Thanks for pointing out the fact that
I feel the sarcasm,
and I'm still trying to set together the chat portion of this whole segment. Is there anything else you want to elaborate on over there, or point out what I'm doing behind the scenes?
Michelle. Okay, here's one. Michelle actually took a picture of one of the pieces that we had to do and print, and she took a picture laughing, saying, and here is the highlight of my my graphic designer career. Because it was really bad.
The highlight of her graphic design
she's
career.
Like, here's my highlight of my graphic designer career, and it's just the postcard on the chest. And she was just like, damn it. And now, like, but I have been giving her more control. Every time someone calls about any art thing, I'm just like, Michelle, phone.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I've been throwing her in the deep end lately. I'm just like, dude, you handle it. I've got enough stuff to do. And she, like, the first couple times, though, she looked at me like a deer in a headlight. And now she's just kind of, she gives me this look, and I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Now she's just like, what did you do?
Pretty much. I'm either telling her because it's an art design question, or somebody I cannot answer the phone for, and I'm just like, tell them I'm not here. And she's like, and Michelle will actually go, she's on fire. Because she took it way too literally the first time that I told her to tell people that. And so she, like, the first time, she goes, she's on fire. And then she comes out to me and she goes, I told her you were on fire. She didn't laugh. She didn't think it was funny.
Oh, my
and
Lord.
I'm just like, damn it, Michelle, I didn't actually mean to say it.
So, so these are some of the things that I've been dealing with over here. Is
We have fun.
Shannon, the shop gnome, giving Michelle directions like tell her things are on fire and like, what are you talking about? Why would?
I was joking, but she took me literally. It wasn't my fault, sort of. Actually, it completely was my fault.
It's 100% your fault.
Yeah, I just said that.
What do you mean it's sort of your fault?
It's completely 100% my fault because the boss told her to tell the client that the boss was on fire. Okay, I do get that.
It's all of your fault.
Can you get back on, please? Like, I feel like I'm talking myself into a tunnel.
All right, so we're gonna go over and answer some of your questions. If you've put a question in, please go back and type at Mikey Designs in silkscreen, and to make it a little easier for us to find
Joe!
your question, and we'll answer your questions here. Shannon, do you want to go through and kind of start reading some of these questions, but
I don't know
you'll
where to
get
start.
immediate response or priority, I should say, if you just type at Mikey Designs in silkscreen, so that way we see the little highlight.
Or if you send me money.
Or if you do a super chat, that gets priority overall.
Alright,
So,
let's start from the bottom.
But Shannon's going to go through, read off some of your questions, and we'll just kind of rapid fire answer them for you guys. So take it away there, Shannon.
I'm trying.
Try harder.
Tell a joke or something.
That's your job.
I think I just told a very interesting story about Michelle telling people that I was on fire.
Okay, well, why don't you just start at the top then? Start reading some things off, see if...
Okay, create design. It was fan art. It wasn't... Well, they were real characters, but it's fan art, but we probably still can't make a video of them.
Yeah, definitely fan art.
Tommy wants to know, what about getting that ring?
What ring? Oh, the next question.
Have you noticed we began that question a lot more?
Yeah. There's COVID hit. There's just all kinds of things that
blame it on COVID.
Have gone down towards where it's changed things.
So, do you? Sign Commanders asked if we think materials are going to increase in price. Actually, yes, that is one of the things I was reading about today. That it's projected.
They always go up.
They always go up, but they're projected to raise significantly just because of lack of supply, and there are a lot of things that the printing vendors are doing and the apparel vendors are doing at this point to try to
jack the prices up.
No.
Capitalism kind of thing.
Sustain so that they have enough, but they are jacking it up. But the UV ones, strangely enough, are going really high up, and because the demand is going up, everybody else is like trying to just, I guess, what's the word? Create a medium.
They're trying to make up for loss.
But they're packing
inventory.
Things up. But they're packing things up that they think that won't be, available for, that season or trend. That's one of the things I was reading. And everything is just, they only supply to everybody what's in demand, kind of like what we do with just ordering shirts.
Right. Yeah.
But everybody's starting to do that, including the printing supplies vendors. What?
Nothing. I'm just reading some of the comments here. Keep going.
But that's what I was. But that is one of the things I was reading today when I was searching for something to have for news.
Yeah, and see, that's something that could have been brought up. I mean, Yeah.
Yeah, but they kept quoting people that I had never heard of, and I was just sitting there going, nobody's gonna know who these people are.
Well,
if I'm gonna like report a news thing, I need to actually have like some citations.
yeah, that's why you got to do your homework there, Shannon.
I was doing homework.
Obviously not. I'm just messing with you. You did great. You did fantastic. I'm proud of you. Absolutely proud of you. All right, let's go on to the next question. Heart and Hustle Joe, man, we appreciate the super chat. Thanks, homie. We appreciate it. We hope that everything's going well over there at your shop, and you're kicking out some cool stuff with all the new equipment.
Oh, and Joe, you still need to bill me.
That's true.
I already told them about him.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was like, I don't know what she's talking about.
I already told you. Yeah. I told you on the day of the Christmas guitar. Oh, yeah. Show him my Christmas present.
Oh, yes. I shall show you. But I don't have a show and tell, like, transition. All right, so also part of my little vacation, even though I didn't get a vacation, is more of just like a vacation from the daily grind of life to do something a little different, and this is one of the things I did with my time.
It was his Christmas present.
Yeah.
And he made it, sort of.
Well, for the most part, I did make it. So, Christmas, I told Shannon some time ago, it might have even been a couple weeks, because she was asking me, she's like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? I was like, I don't know. I'm not the kind of person that has a bunch of things listed in my mind where I'm like, I want this, I want that, I want yada, yada, yada. And something that I've been doing recently, which is kind of weird because, I mean, it's not weird in the sense that I've always played music, but since I've done YouTube, practically, excuse me, I got one of those adult burps where I'm like talking, I'm like, so I talked to some of my old buddies, and they're like, hey, let's start a cover band this year. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally down with that. We have questions,
so be quick.
This is not going to be quick.
Just show them the guitar.
So, long story short, we've been practicing all that stuff. I told Shannon, I was like, hey, it'd be cool to get a new guitar. Shannon's uncle was like, hey, he doesn't have one of these guitars, so if you're not friends with me on Facebook, you can go over and friend me. I just kind of went a little overboard with it. This started out as just like a raw guitar kit. So this is, I dyed the thing, I cleared it, I sanded it, I buffed it.
I'm the best girlfriend ever, by the way.
You can see my reflection there. I spent a lot of time on this and did a lot of work on the frets. You can see here on the guitar neck. And I'll do a video on this. I screen printed this part here and this part as well. This is HTV vinyl down here. Cleared it. Man, I probably got about at least a good 85, 90 hours into finishing this thing, doing the fret work, finishing it, and so I've been kind of jamming out on.
That's the design Michelle and I designed.
Yeah, so this is what Michelle had actually designed. I'll see if the camera won't focus on it. There we go. Let's see. But that's what they had came up with. It's an M and a C, which are my first and last initials. And It was just a lot of fun. I thought about actually vlogging it and putting it on a music channel that I never really did anything with, and then I just thought to myself, I'm like, man, there's some things that I just want to keep to myself, and this was one of them. And it was a pretty long project, and there's still a little bit more work to do to it. There's some things that I would like to go back and kind of finish up, but gotta get back at it. I gotta get back at the grind of things.
Okay, so Joe, for separating us simulated process print, we would do $50 an hour. Generally, if it doesn't take us that long, we don't really charge, like we said, but it's generally $50 an hour if we're actually putting a lot of time into it. Prices are going up. If we go to the store, we got an email from our supplier, the price is going up. Everything's going up.
Yeah, definitely.
Lauren Star, will you have time to do 600 shirts for me in February? Hell yeah, we will.
Yeah, we talked about it. We'll take care of you. We'll squeeze you in.
Print it to win it. He's been getting a lot of American flag prints lately. Do you think it's better to PFP, the flash print the white twice and then add colors, or just once the colors and the white again?
Print your base. I would always suggest just the print your base down, clear the mesh, flash it. If you're on a manual and you've got the energy to do it, I'd hit it with the flattening screen and then just go over hit it with your overprint colors. Consider a bright white as a second screen. We always consider on color shirts the white base as we just consider a base really, and then white itself is a whole nother color, rather than doing a print flash, especially with something like a blue, like a royal blue or something like that. If you do a print flash, and if you got a low mesh, man, you're gonna run into some issues. So I would actually do a 195 mesh, no lower than 156. Like I'd keep the 110 stuff to the doing like metallic inks and whatnot, where you really need the open mesh to allow that metallics to flow through. So even when we were on the manual, we use a 195 or 230 for the white base. Like say for instance, we went out to eat at Chewy's, which is I don't know if they're national, but we were analyzing their prints, and it's like, see, look at the brightness of this white and how soft it feels. And I could tell they use a 230 mesh for their white base, and it's plastisol, and it had a nice hand to it. They might even use a little bit of soft hand additive in it to make it feel a little nicer. But I mean, and it depends on the client too. Some clients, I mean, we've had a client here recently. It's like when you're using a 230 mesh for your white base and then a 230 on top of it, obviously it's only going to be so bright of a white. But for us, I mean, that's bright enough, because you don't want to be bulletproof, and you don't want to be wasting a lot of ink. I'd say 95% of the time everybody's happy with us using that method. Excuse me. All right. I hope that answers your question.
All right, so 3D Wonder wants to know, how do you fix a low resolution image for vector?
For vector, or that is?
Vector.
It depending on the art. I mean, sometimes you'll have to go back and redraw it. Really, you can take something that's lower resolution and you can res it up. In other words, if it's 72 dpi by 5 inches and they want to print it at 10 inches wide, I'd scale it up that 10 inches wide and then make it like 150, no more than 200 dpi, because you're really not going to get anything else out of it.
Oh, Jeremy, sorry. You're next.
And sometimes I'll even just kind of already pre-separate the artwork and then res it up, turn it to black and white, and then go into levels and take my black and white and just really squish it down towards where you're cutting out. When you res things up, you're going to create a transition from black to white that's even bigger. So I'll go in there and take my levels at Control L or Command L in Photoshop, squish that down, bring it into Illustrator, do an auto trace, and see what it comes up with. A lot of the time, it will make it pretty jagged, and you can reduce the amount of points in there. I'm trying to think exactly the command. But just look up at reducing points, and it will remove some of the points in there, and you can just kind of take it from there. That will kind of get you going along a little faster. But I mean, ideally, if it's low res, you just kind of need to redraw it. And there's some cases where I think a couple weeks ago, someone sent us some artwork where it was like fruit pasted inside letters, and they're like, "Hey, we need you to vectorize this and clean it up." It's like there's no way, because there's probably about 200 pieces of fruit, and 3/4 of them were different types of fruit. Where it's like that, this would probably take us about 8 hours the redraw, and they're like, "Oh, never mind." So I'd say honesty is the best policy when it comes to that. So that way you don't get yourself in a bind, and you got realistic expectations as to, if you can't redraw it, just let them know. I mean, there's no shame in it. Even if, say for example, you're starting out and you don't want to promise something that you can't deliver. Which, I mean, there's times we could take a page out of our own book by saying that, but we've gotten better over the years of just being like, no, we're not going to. There's no way. You'd probably spend less time if we actually went and bought the fruit and photographed it and then put it inside of this text rather than redrawing it.
But you're footing the grocery bill.
Yeah, exactly. You're footing the grocery bill. We're going to charge you for the time to photograph it and put it inside of this text.
Okay, Jeremy, I completely missed him. I'm so sorry. He says, "Hey Matt, don't you use clear film to set up multicolor designs? If so, where do you get it and what's it called exactly? I've been looking for it and can't find it."
Yeah, we'll use that occasionally. So what it is it's basically just clear vinyl transfer film, or it's meant for vinyl graphics, and it's no different than the transfer paper that's used, but it's clear transfer film, I guess is what they call it. Let me take a look, and I'll post a link real quick where you can grab that while Shannon answers another question, so that way I'm not holding it up too much and she can continue on.
I am deer in the headlights right now. They're all technical questions. I can't answer this shit.
Well, you can at least start reading it off while I look it up.
Joe wants to know, what screen count do you use for an underbase?
195 and 230. 95% of the time. Unless they want it just super, super bright. And they don't mind it being bulletproof.
I can't find any more questions.
Okay, that's fine if you can't.
Okay, Matthew Grider. Do you know anything different for button-up shirts, lower heat?
For button-up shirts, I'd say a lot of the time that they're
a pain in the ass.
Lower heat. I mean, a lot of the times they're polyester is what I was going to the get at. Yeah, I'm sure they're a pain in the ass, but it just kind of comes with the territory. But generally, we'll use a polyester ink, and since we've got this new press, we haven't really done any button ups on it. We'll do it manually, and so we'll use a smaller squeegee and low cure ink. We'll print it, flash it, and then put our overprint colors on top of it, and call it a day.
I try to talk
Transfer
into
tape.
embroidery.
Transfer tape is what it's called. It's a clear vinyl transfer tape. I'm just going to toss this into the chat real quick. It doesn't necessarily have to be this transfer tape, but just this will give you an idea of what it is. It's just clear vinyl transfer tape.
Okay. Joe, what question was it? I thought I caught all of it. You asked about the charge to separate, and I answered.
All right, let's do one more question. I know we started a little late, and we're because it's been a while since we've been on, and we enjoy talking to you guys, answering your questions. It is starting to get a little late. I think it's 9 o'clock on our side of town. We probably really got things figured out somewhere around 7:45.
No, before that. No, don't pay again, Joe. Joe, no, don't pay again. Don't pay again. Don't pay again. Just re-ask. Just re-ask. You are one of my favorites right now because you're doing the guitar picks.
So, just real quick, Novo works. If you're getting some echo on the microphone, I apologize. It's because I've got like 4 different inputs running. I was trying to figure out why it was that you guys weren't able to hear our voices. I'll have all that sorted out next time.
Oh, I hear echo now.
Oh, I've been hearing it the whole time, but I mean, it doesn't really bother me. However, I'm going to get all these things ironed out. It's running OBS
Joe!
on the back end is, man, it's difficult.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that.
But he's doing... charge me extra on those guitar picks, okay? What we were saying about the simulated separations is if we need to, it's $50 an hour. That's what we charge.
Right, and I'd say for the most part, a lot of them.
Oh, he wants simulated tips.
Oh, simulated tips. I tell you what, maybe next time we go live, if you're looking for some tips on simulated process, let us know in the chat now what if there's a particular software that you're using, what software are you using, so that way we can just do a live demonstration real quick and give some pointers and make that, since there's just not a whole lot to report on the industry aside from prices going up. I know that perhaps there's some fashion stuff we can toss in there.
There's a leisure wear. Apparently, that's a thing.
So maybe from next time when we go live, from about 7:15 to 7:45, a good 30 minutes, we'll dive into that and just do a little bit of a tutorial. And I need to install Illustrator on this version of Windows that I had to put on my Macintosh just to try and make OBS work better, because I don't know, the Mac version just sucks, and apparently the Windows version sucks too. So I'm going to get all that stuff ironed out, and I do know that we have another copy of Illustrator and all that, license wise. So we'll tackle that next time. Is there any more questions that you want to touch on, Shannon, before you go into the dad joke of the day?
Jeremy wants to know if you use a 6x100 roll.
6x100.
And NovaWorks said a joke that I think might be dirty.
Oh, no. So, no, I don't use a 6" by 100 roll. I just wanted to kind of just show you quickly what it is. We use, I think it's 15 inches. 15 inches by 100 feet. So this was just to kind of give you an idea of what it is. I mean, if you scroll down in Amazon, they've got different size rolls, 12 inches, 15, so on and so forth. But just use that as an example of what to look for. It's not registration tape or anything like that in particular. It's just clear vinyl transfer tape. It's for vinyl, and I use it on top of here's a matter of fact, here's the roll here, and this is by Nekoosa, Nekoosa, and this one actually might be a 24-inch roll right here. So, and it's just clear transfer tape. That's all it is. So there's a lot of people that make it. Just find what works for you. They're not too expensive. I've had that roll for maybe 3 years now. I think it was about $60.
I don't know. I'm distracted by the dirty joke references.
All right, well, I think we are going to go into the dad joke of the day by the lovely Shannon the Shop Gnome. Shannon, let's kick the dad joke of the day. Are you ready?
Woo! Tell me when to start. That's your own dad joke right there. It really is.
Let me do that one more time. Oops, we're going into the wrong. We're back at the chat, but let's do that one more time. Shannon had a hard time taking these. She just would not. She's not a picture. She doesn't like taking pictures.
I don't. Why is my hair so clean but looks so matted?
Anyways.
Oh God, I don't want that. We have to retake that.
You look great.
Hush your mouth.
Hush your mouth, dude. Stop yelling in the mic. How could you not hear that? How are your ears not bleeding? Anyways, I got the dad joke of the day music playing in the background.
Hey, Matt.
Wait.
Matt.
Yes, I'm listening.
How do you steal a coat?
You
jacket.
Well, we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us through the technical difficulties that we had. And we will definitely be back. Sorry about the music in the background again. Obviously, there's still some bugs that we have to work out. But be sure...
This just in. A photographer was recently crushed by a lump of cheddar.
You better save up your dad jokes.
A photographer was recently crushed by a lump of cheddar. To be fair, the people he was taking a picture of did try to warn him. Cheese.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I started snoozing. Anyways, be sure to like this video. Leave a comment down below, even if it's just a what's up. If you're new to the channel, just let us know that you're new in the comments. And we've got a lot of stuff that we're going to be putting out this year, so be sure to stick around. It's helpful if you do let us know what kind of content you would like to see, and we'll do our best to accommodate that.
And Joe, text me if you have any questions still, because I owe you big time, and I'll follow Matt around like a clucking chicken, trying to get an answer out of him.
I don't know what that means, but thanks for tuning in, guys. We're gonna get out of here. It was fun. Next Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I promise I'll have my shit together, or at least try to. And it's been fun. You know, have a good night, and we hope you have a great week. And we'll see you
Love
guys
you guys,
later.
hearts.